Abraham. What's going on? Good morning.
Hanukkah tour. I'm leaving on the 14th and be arriving in Toronto 15th. And Be'ez Hashem, I'll be back at the end of Hanukkah, just before the Zos Hanukkah Tish.
I leave December 3rd from Eretz Yisrael, and then I arrive back on the 17th. So
amazing.
We'll say hello to each other in the air.
Yes. I mean, my main hope is that I'm going to bring music, like Levi Miller.
Amazing.
And Alex Clare, Dob Bear Miller.
Amazing.
And just bring them all to the Hebra in Toronto, New York, and Miami. Miami's the climax.
You know, we need strength here in Eretz Yisrael, right? Our inner strength and outer strength from all our Hebra.
It's crazy. I was seeing bullets flying your way yesterday.
I was there yesterday. It's a crazy thing. But we're going to sing a song. This is one of my favorite nigunim of all time. It's the Anapoli nigun, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, yeah. And that's what nigunim is what keeps us strong. Torah keeps us strong. Yaakov Yosef Halim. So we heard last night from the Rebbe, just here.
From the Rebbe.
And the whole Shabbos from Moshe Weinberg. So much chizuk going on.
We're flying.
In Shirat David, right where we're sitting. Big shout out to Rav Shlomo and the community here. What chizuk. So I've got my little USA shout out for the tour. But always a little bit of merch. Where's my tie? What? We're getting ready for Hanukkah and Purim already.
Already. We're getting ready for Purim already. All right, Anapoli Nigun. You ready?
Da 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 da.
Diddy da 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 dum. Diddy da 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 dum. I diddy da 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 dum. Diddy da da dum. Diddy da 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 dum. Diddy da da dum. I diddy da da dum. Yeah, diddy da da dum. Diddy da da. Oh, I.
I just want to say, coming a potential Shabbaton, House of Lev. Akiva Nachman is putting out music
nice.
now. We could bring. You've been hosting some of the family already.
I've had Bitzalel over. We've been talking about wanting to have them as
the whole Shabbos and with the community.
I'd love to have him and.
That's the next project I'm doing with Shirat David.
Chana and his wife Chana Emuna, I think. Yeah. Chava Emuna.
They're amazing. Such good energy, and Akiva Nachman is putting music out, so I'm also now representing it as Unity Booking.
Amazing.
And the House of Lev. We want to get their brand, already big, but get them even more out there and in front of communities.
Shout out to House of Lev.
Shout out.
Batzalel, we love you. Batzalel is friends with my younger son, Netanel. So he's been over to our house a couple. He actually was over by us. The first time he came for Shabbat was the Shabbat of the Iran war in mid-June. We're like, oh my God, this kid's never coming back again.
So when we did a Shabbaton Reisha, and there's suddenly some people I didn't know were coming, and there was some of the House of Lev Chevra, and so we were like so happy to help set it up. I think the daughter came, and she had a really nice time.
She was here.
And that was Nissan Black and the Brown family.
Right.
And
that was here.
Yeah, so I think she came also when
Nissan Black was here, yeah.
So he came to Shirat David also, and we're going to please God do another Shabbaton by Reisha, probably Pashas Yisro. Not that it's a public thing, but people usually turn up anyway, because especially he does a concert most Shabbos. But it's a busy time. We're trying to get the light out. He actually spoke at the Charlie Kirk tribute last week and did an amazing job.
Akiva Nachman?
No, Nissan Black.
Oh, okay.
And he really covered something which was very important, very real about Charlie, and gave a sensitivity that maybe not everyone would feel like is.
You care to share?
I think the main point is that he has a special soul, Charlie, that he's tuned into the truth, and that's what his mission was. And he had an amazing way of keeping the unity together, especially with the conservative movement. And we've seen how much that's getting under attack now that he's not here. But we can still strengthen it because his legacy is still here. And
I heard his book about Shabbat got sold out before pre-order sold out. That was the other
thing, the Shabbat point. That was huge. Nissan spoke about Mizmor David, then they sang Mizmor David, and the whole point was because Shabbos is when we most tune into it. And we just had a share from Rav Shlomo Erev Shabbos about Mizmor David the last few weeks.
Right.
So it was like the theme, you know. And I grew up unfortunately, when I went to school, I went to it was Min Shamayim, I went to the churches as part of the school assembly, and we have to say that psalm in English.
Oh, 20, is that 23, right?
Yeah, Psalm 23. So I grew up saying it as a kid, and I didn't realize then that it would become part of my,
daily routine.
Life. Yeah.
Right.
We will not lack. That's it. My shepherd is here. That's the shepherd. It's all about the shepherd. That's what Nissim said. It's all, he understood he knew who the shepherd was. And that's the key. We need to. So that's the point, keeping strong. Even though it seems like the world's going crazy, we have to keep strong within and outside of us. That's
I think the way we keep strong and then outside,
even
I
when
think the way we keep
flying.
strong outside is by being strong within, and that ties into what the Talmud Rebbe was saying last night.
Right.
We don't want to be Esav, we want to be Yaakov. Esav, like each side, right? But Yaakov Avinu was each tam Yosef Oalim. Right. We have to make time for Limud Torah. There's no excuse. Key. Even if it's start with 5 minutes a day.
No, I love the fact that Real Kindness podcast, we talk about Just One Chesed, we'll talk about Unity Project, all these kind things we're trying to build, Unity Inspires and all that kind of stuff, Unity Bookings. But the main thing really, we always I get from this podcast personally, like being part of it, and hopefully the listeners, is Torah. We always share Torah. It's the source.
It's the source of everything. It's who we are. It's our being. Our being is Torah. So that's why it's so critically important. And I was telling Rav Shlomo earlier. I also yesterday, you were in Rami Levy when the shooting happened at some.
I was actually just about to drive into this craziness, and we turned around because I started hearing all the bullets, and we were like, crazy. Let's go back to Rami Levy.
I actually was on my way to the base. Here's the thing, right? So, like, for those of you who don't know, I work for Just One Chesed. Right, if you're living under a rock for the past couple of years, I work for Just One Chesed, and I started our Meals for Heroes program, where there are 4 restaurants in the Gush that whenever soldiers walk in uniform, to sit down and eat. They eat for free. Okay, what has happened over the past couple of months? I want to say it happened since Rosh Hashanah, even. Right, the soldiers that I give food to all the time, they get food from other places like frozen goods, dry goods, whatever it may be, and they get too much. So they started reaching out to me and saying, we have extra food. Do you know anywhere that he can go? Just One Chesed recently started helping families within Efrat that don't have enough, that they don't have the means to take care of Shabbat, food for Shabbat. So we help them out. I think there are 11 families currently that we're helping out.
Wow.
Now, with the addition of, every once in a while, every couple of weeks before Chagim, whatever it is, the soldiers will reach out to me saying, we have extra food. Do you want to come get it? So they called me yesterday and they said, we have this food. Do you want to come get it? And I was on my way to go pick up the food. And as I was going there, I got to the tzom. I was pulling up to the tzomet, about to make the right to go towards the chativa. Excuse me. I all of a sudden see dozens of soldiers just running. I must have just missed the actual pigua itself. And I ended up being on the base for about an hour because everything was shut down. There was fear that there might have been pipe bombs in the car or whatever it may be, so you couldn't really leave until they figured it out. And I was sitting there and I was talking to some soldiers, and a lot of these soldiers, listen, there's no judgment whatsoever. They're tzaddikim and tzadkaniot. They put on the uniform. They're as holy as they come, right? Not all of them are shomrei Torah mitzvot because that's the way they grew up, or they don't know any better, or whatever it may be. Right, we spoke about earlier today. We spoke about Tinuk Shenishba, right? After this happened yesterday, and then I was like, "There's no other way. It's got to be kibush, gerush, and hityashvut." And the majority of them agreed with me. I mean, I posted on Instagram yesterday exactly that. There's no other way, and that's the one thing that got the most likes yesterday. Wow. And the majority of them were from soldiers.
It just shows you, I mean, deep down that we have an intrinsic connection to truth. And we should have in mind everything we're saying should be with a refuah for the people who are in Matzav Kasher. Unfortunately, a lady from Efrat is in a difficult situation right now. And some of the people didn't come yesterday. Some of my friends from outside of Efrat.
Because of the figure.
They heard about it and they were scared off. Yeah. I mean, we're sending them the audio. Thank God the Rebbe didn't even flinch. It wasn't even a message, will I come, will I not? because
you know what that reminded me of? When we went to Rav Ginsburg. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the siren went off, and he's just like,
I got that video on here, and people were like writing underneath, "That's not right. It's Makam Sakana." I got all the comments.
When you're with a tzaddik like that, you're good. But that's similar. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is the Toler Rebbe still going to come? And obviously, I mean, to him, it's not.
And all the Chavra came who are like close with him. They came irrelevant of that. But
I think the key is that, you know, in order for us to be strong, we need to be strong in our learning of Torah. And actually, I want to give a shout out to. I had the zchut of this past Shabbat with Rav Moshe Weinberger and his kehillah. There were like 60 guys who were here. I think there was 57 or 60 guys, whatever it was, 60 people that came from Aish, from Woodmere. I had the zchut to host one of my old childhood friends, Andy Lauber, which is unbelievable, and Sheldon Lerner, who's.
We tag these dudes. They've got.
I don't know if they're on social media, but I just wanted to say that it was such an honor to host them, and also now, Bezat Hashem, starting tomorrow.
I'll reframe these holy brothers, because these guys came strong.
Yeah,
there was a strong energy
fire.
in the Shabbos.
They were fire.
Eish Kodesh, literally.
Mamash. So this guy Sheldon Lerner, I set up a chavruza with him. We're going to start learning Chovot HaLevavot, Shara B'tachon.
That's what it's about.
Starting tomorrow. So it's very exciting, and it's
I was explaining to people. I've got one of the guys at Josh. He went up to the Rebbe afterwards, and he said, "I'm learning Rambam Hilchos Talmud Torah with Eli," because he was about shitting and learning. The Rebbe calls him a blazer, but the Rebbe understood because he was pointing at me. So he said, "That's the whole point." He said, "This is what the Rebbe is speaking about." But the way that Josh does it, he and this is what I suppose you're going to have to work it out, like that gunning time, like stealing time, like Yaakov stole the brachas from Esav.
Right.
You have to really take from your time, from all the other pressures, and focus in on the chavrusa and do it.
So we're starting with 15 minutes. We said, listen, it's going to be crazy, it's going to be difficult, whatever it is. He's like, let's just start. I was like, okay, I have 15 minutes.
Often Josh is like chasing me each night, and we make it happen. And he has the schus that he's pushing it, and it's a big. We have to do this. We can't allow time to pull away from our tafkid, our purpose. The Jewish people, as the Rebbe said, we have to shine Torah. We have to bring a legacy of Torah, of truth. And that's part of our essence. And to ignore that means our essence is not really going to shine fully. So we all have levels that we can grow and become stronger in learning. And that's part of what's going to give us the strength to then, when we do the chesed with Torah's chesed, al leshona, like we say in Eishes Chayil, if we have that kind of Torah, it's a whole nother madrega. That was Avram Avinu's chesed, that was Yitzchak Avinu, Yaakov's Avinu. It was with awe, it was with light, it was with truth, it was with value. And that's
because Yaakov Avinu was a combination of the Gevura and the Chesed of Yitzchak and Avraham, right? And so and that's in order to have the strength that we're talking about, that one needs, both the pnimiut strength, the inner strength, and the outward strength. It needs to be based on the truth, and obviously the truth is the Torah. And it's critically important that we set time. Again, start with 5 minutes. Literally set an alarm clock. 5 minutes, shut it off. The second the alarm goes off, you could be in the middle of a sugi, you could be in the middle of a pasuk, whatever it may be, close it. Do that for a week. And the next day, next week, 10 minutes, right? 15 minutes, and so on and so forth.
I'll tell you something that's helping me a lot, though, is because in the end, life does get a lot of pressure, and, is making responsible times in your day where you teach or where you give over, like we're doing now, like once a week. Because I do have other things I could be doing, and so do you. And even for us to make this podcast is a challenge. So, Yaakov is like a guide in time management. I once went through Stephen Covey's habits, and I connected them to each of the different spheres. And so the third habit of Stephen Covey, like the third of the Avos, Avram Yitzchak Yaakov, is Yaakovin. And the guide in time management of being able to make your first things first. So not only was he amazing in learning, but he was also amazing at prioritizing the family first. And Sargad Obonim, he built up the Shvatim, the tribes. We're all coming from Yaakov. He's on Zayda. So we have to realize that, that we are tuned in to that legacy. And so we're not alone when we're trying to focus in on our time management and our family first focus and our learning. We're getting heavenly help, but we have to do the ishtadlus. And so therefore, if you commit to teach, to give over to your family, to give over to your friends, your community, even if it's something small, like you doing the Shmir Solution thing.
I finished.
Amazing, Mazel Tov.
Oh, yeah. I finished the Sefer.
Or until that every day, seeing it there, seeing
something
Torah,
else out.
and you see all the nice comments and people. And I,
Baruch
you know,
Hashem.
I was actually at a bus stop. I never told you this first time I'm telling you this. I was at a bus stop, walking past a bus stop in a frat on my way up the hill here, and I'm suddenly hearing Yosef Aaron's voice on like loudspeaker, and some lady sitting at the bus stop watching a video on loudspeaker. I'm not joking.
I know who it is. Shout out to Mindy. Mindy Barad, you're awesome.
But it was like, yes, Yosef Aaron's Torah is like in the streets of the frat. It's good.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. It's a beautiful thing. And I think, again, just a continued strength, learning Torah, it's just so important. B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to try to do it again next week. I have a lot of people coming in next week from Chutz La'aretz because of Thanksgiving, whatever it is. So I have a crazy schedule. But,
thank you for the maybe to sing a thank you song, huh?
But I really hope that we'll be able to do this again, and then I'm going to Chutz La'aretz, and then I come back, and you're going to Chutz La'aretz. So it's gonna be. If we don't do it next week, it's gonna be a minute, but we'll try to figure it out. B'ezrat Hashem.
We're here for you guys. You reach out to us, make us, motivate us, push us, because that's the point. We're saying that we're doing this together. The whole thing of learning, chesed, everything,
seeing each other.
Yeah,
right. Not
that's
on
what Rav Shlomo
right. That's what we're talking about today.
To
not
really
just on a physical level, but
to really
see.
That's my relationship flow that I'm giving. I've made myself responsible to teach here, to teach at the Shtibel Minyan down the road. Like by committing myself, and also here and there with chavrusos on the phones, and like you're doing now, this is what's going to make the world, give us the strength to be a good husband, to be a good father, or for you guys to be a good wife, to be a mother, or to be a good friend, or whatever.
Child, sibling,
just a good human being.
Right.
The Torah that, you know, back to Charlie Kirk as someone from the nations, he would learn. He was learning Torah. He was learning from scriptures. He was learning what it means to keep Shabbat. He that was part of the tribute to him. The pastor, his name is Rob McCoy, very impressive person. He spoke about how much he and the other people there as well spoke about how much he would invest time in asking questions and learning, and that was what aroused this whole awakening of Shabbat in him. Maybe he didn't keep it like a Jew because he's not obligated, but he kept it
the way that he understood.
And humanity needs Shabbat. You know, with technology coming,
you need a day to shut everything off.
And that will also keep us strong. That's part of the whole thing of the Shabbat we just had will keep us strong forever. Like, these kind of Shabbats in Shirat David is like it's changing our lives. So and changing the world. And that's what Rav Shlomo and Rav Moshe both said on Shabbat, that this song of Shirat David needs to go out. So I think we should end off on a song.
I want to say one more thing before, and I know there was somebody who reached out. There's somebody who reached out to us who wants to be on our podcast. That's right, which is actually amazing.
I have to listen to the message. I haven't even got to.
Basically, he's a therapist himself, and so he says that our podcast is about kindness. I think one of the most ultimate kindnesses that one can do is to be kind to oneself. Right. And B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to try to have him on so we can talk about.
We did have a podcast episode where we discussed it. I remember.
Yes, it'll be good. It'll be good to refresh it
and also have
get it from a MD's perspective, right? Sure. To get it from him and to see what it is.
Can we get him to say "Hariyu"? Hariyu!
We'll ask him.
Hariyu is part of the. If anyone who Kabbalah Shabbat came here knows who the Hariyu.
Yeah, so I think the song we should. I think we're talking about Torah. We're talking about Emet. Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. Hay yam da 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 da.
We already had
Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet. B'ezrat Hashem, we'll see you hopefully again next week. If not, we'll see you by the end of the calendar year.
Love. Only love.
Only.
Bye. Freedom for Am Yisrael.